Good morning, everybody. If you're watching this as a rerun here, you can skip ahead about 14 minutes. And if not, hey, you just stuck with me here until we start things up. Yeah. I tell you what. Good stuff. So much fun applying for tags. And you got to search everything here. Too much fun. Morning, Waylon. Josh, good morning. I gotta continue. Did you get your Mike? Good morning. Did you get your applications in for the big three? That's a big question. That's what I'm trying to do here today, this morning. And it's expensive. Continue shopping. What's next? Resident Moose license? Okay. Morning, Dan Brown. Hey, Dan, are you going to be coming to DSU tonight? The new rodeo arena is going to be put out here. So indoor arena at DSU. And I just may know the guy that's going to be doing the auction tonight. And they sent me the auction list. I thought there'd be more. Only 8 items. I'm not sure here. Dave, good morning. How are things in Minnesota under the Smalley daycare centers? Hopefully everything's good. Yeah, get your applications in here. Yeah. Should we do Moose too? Let's do Moose. DOS Moose. Use previous application as starting point. Sure. Scott. Any Moose. Yes. Continue. There it is. That one was easy. Continue shopping? Sure. Why? Because what else is left here? Lottery, Scott. Spring turkey gratis application. Sure. No. Are you going to give it away? No. No. Continue. Zone 44. Land descriptions. Why not? Oops. Range is 103. More than one shot cap. That one. Continue. Continue. All kinds of good stuff. Good morning, Karen. One shot cap. Good morning here. I tell you, I'm going to do the rest of the applications here after we're done because it's getting expensive already. Do I certify everything's legit? Yes. Good deal. Now we got to do the wife. Is she a resident? Yes. Is she a citizen? Yes. Bighorn sheep. Bighorn. What do we got here? Yes, she's going to do the combination license. She verifies again that she's a resident. Even though you're applying for the big three, do you want a dark house spearfish? No. Do you want to hunt geese and snipe? No. Do you want a waterfowl? No. I'm applying for bighorn sheep. I don't know why that has to be worried about, but here we go. And then I want to continue shopping. Eric, good morning. We're getting close here. A couple minutes away from the top of the hour anyway. All right, let's continue shopping here. Let's see, what else are we going to go there? Elk. Landowner elk. Yes. So why did that kick me out? Good morning, Dead Wolf. Why did that kick me out? Elk. Continue. Interesting. Why is it? That's weird. It's kicking me out of everything here. There, we found it. Weird. It is kicking me out of everything that you'd think that would work here. All right, stations here. We're going to do a countdown. We're 20 seconds away or so. I don't understand why this is. Only residents in designated areas. Why did it kick her out? Continue. I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, stations here. I missed your countdown here. 7 o'clock and 15 seconds. Or 8 o'clock and 15 seconds on Mark. So there you go. Let me give old Wayne Muth a call here. I don't know why it's kicking me out of everything. I have no idea. Too much fun. Too much fun. You must correct the following errors.
Good morning, Scott.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's kicking me out of everything here, trying to get all the applications in for the big 3.
Oh,
I have no idea why.
I looked at that last night, and I'll have to get mine in too. Definitely.
I haven't.
Got to talk my brother into putting in too. He's put in stuff before, but he's kind of relaxed lately, I think. So I got to get on him. It's a lot of fun to get out there and try to get those things.
Well, hopefully everybody gets what they want.
It's something we could talk about too. I noticed that the numbers are down for the numbers of tags they're giving out, which I thought would be just the opposite.
I don't know what's going on there. I really don't.
Yeah.
It is so confusing to figure out where the numbers are or not. And then, you look at our deer population over here at the ranch is terrible. Elk are up, cow elk, but nobody wants to go after cow elk until like the last week of the season. And I don't know.
Yeah. I was looking at this newsletter that I get in West Virginia. Now, this little state of West Virginia, they shot 93,000 deer there last year.
Jeez.
And Tennessee had 117,000 deer. I mean, my God, how can they have those populations be so high, and we sit here with 50,000? I mean, is it a management piece, or I don't know?
Yeah,
it's just crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so when you look at, you go down to Texas, and I know Jeb was really mad every time I brought this up, right? But, and down there, the Game and Fish actually pays the landowners to put feeders out, and they pay for the feed and the corn and everything else to spread everything around.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a good idea. I think it's great. But
Yeah.
everybody says, well, they're trying to accumulate deer. No, they're doing the opposite. They're trying to spread the deer around. And
Sure.
but
Yeah, if everybody's got them, you bet.
but you get 6 tags down there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. How nice.
a non-resident, gets tags. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's just very confusing sometimes on how everybody's going about it.
Yeah. And our bighorn sheep, people don't realize that non-residents can actually apply. We don't want to tell we don't want to tell anybody, but
well, you just did.
I know.
Yeah. All right, there's my summary, my purchase summary. Done.
Yeah.
I hope it's done. All right. Are you coming Dickinson tonight for the big grand opening of the Dickinson Indoor Arena?
No, I thought I heard about it, but I'm not planning on coming out.
Shoot.
Yeah. That'd have been nice. You heading up there?
Yeah, I gotta run to Sydney, Montana this today for a Red Angus bull sale, and then bust back to DSU and do that auction tonight.
Oh,
so
nice.
It's gonna be tight. Like it's gonna be Highway 16 has never seen the likes of driving like I'm gonna be doing.
Oh yeah, I know that some of the people in Dickinson that really support the Dickinson rodeo program, Dickinson State out there, they were not real pleased when BSC got their rodeo program set up and what they're pulling in out there, because they're doing a pretty dang good job out there. Yep. I mean, that's pretty amazing. So
you want to talk about people that are unhappy? We'll save this for the radio show because we're only 30 seconds away here. And I am, this will be a good one to start out with. Anyway, we got 25 seconds here, so I'm going to turn you down there, Wayne. So stand by, be ready to go. Stations, 20 seconds of showtime, 20 seconds on mark. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors, heard all across the Dakota Territory on great stations like KLTC, Minot, KCJB in Minot. Sorry about that. KLTC in Dickinson, KFYR in Bismarck, Mandan, KOLY Mobridge, and KGFX in the capital city of Pierre, South Dakota. Good to have you along here this morning, and welcome back here. I tell you what, we got a great show for you, and if you're around today in the Dickinson area, if you're listening in the Dickinson area, Cowboys and Candlelight Party in the Dirt is tonight. The grand opening of the Dale Little Soldier Arena, the new DSU indoor arena, college rodeo arena, coming up here this evening. Silent auction, live auction, and I will be there. Hopefully, get some tickets, come in and party in the dirt with us here. It's supposed to be formal, but in the dirt. So wear the appropriate shoes. Wayne Muth is my guest here this morning. Wayne, are you ready to party in the dirt?
Yes, I would love to go party in the dirt, but however, I won't be making it out there. Sorry to say.
Do you remember? So I was the child of the late 1900s, and anytime somebody said "party in the dirt," what does that remind you of in Mandan Rodeo Arena? What band was the band?
Party in the Dirt.
Yes.
That I don't recall.
Really? The Nitty Gritty Dirt Band.
Oh yeah, sure. But
always the one.
Yeah, because they used to have the party on the prairie. We used to live on the north side of Mandan, and just to the east of there on the hill, on Mandan Crying Hill over there. Near that, they used to have the party on the prairie, and it was a big. Who was it? Johnny. What was his last name?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
he had the big party out there, and we could sit in our front or back porch and listen to the music because it was so
Was it the
loud, and
Johnny
all the
Holmes
people.
band?
Yes, the Johnny Holmes
Yeah.
band. Yes, you got it.
So
You got it.
if you were in North or South Dakota, there's two bands, two or three that you've probably seen a lot. Johnny Holmes and 32
Yep.
Below.
Yep.
These are the two bands, but yeah, everybody's been. Somebody said formal. What the heck is that word? Never heard of formal attire. Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. I got something here that I was not even aware of. Okay. Well, I was kind of aware of it, but I wasn't aware of how the ranchers felt in Western North Dakota. Are you ready for this?
Yep. Okay.
So this year, we're celebrating 250 years as a nation.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool thing, right? Pretty cool. This year, the Medora area is unveiling their presidential library, the Theodore Roosevelt Presidential Library. 5 living presidents are going to be here around July 1st. Did you realize how much pasture and land they're taking away from ranchers? Not allowing calves, not allowing their cattle to graze, not allowing them to be on their property that they pay for, even property that they own, during that week of July 4th, Independence Week. I did not realize this until I talked to some of the neighbors. Unbelievable.
Really?
It is a mess.
I didn't. Yeah. You know, Judy and I were asked to be at the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame to help out there during that week. So we'll be out there for that full week. And yes, we know that the security piece of that is really quite tight. I know that they've been working with people in the community there and the businesses, but we've heard that, yes, some of the presidents may be there. So they expect like 13,000 people in Medora that week.
I heard 35,000 that one day, July 1st. There's not enough hotel rooms. Guess where they're parking?
Nope.
Well, guess where they're parking all the vehicles?
I would have no idea.
One of my good friends pasture. They took away a section of pasture that he can't use for his cattle, and they're going to park vehicles on there. Now, granted, it is Forest Service property, but he pays to use it, and they're taking it away and switching up his entire rotation of cattle for that parking lot. You tell me, I cannot put a corner post in with my skid steer without getting permission to dig that dirt up and put a corner post in. You're telling me that those vehicles being parked on there and people walking and trampling over all the grass and native prairie, as they say, is not going to do more damage?
Yeah, I would think that'd be certainly the fact. But I hope that they're reimbursing these ranchers for this, and they're giving them some compensation for it, because that should be done. And yes, you know, you understand if you're bringing in all these dignitaries that you've got to have a high security piece, especially what's happening today in our world. You never know what's going on out there.
The security's starting right now. Did you know that?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is. Oh, yeah. They've been working with various places that they're working to see where their security is. The Secret Service has been out, and now you've got all these high peaks, and that's really a big concern of theirs, because they've got high peaks all over that area. So they want to make sure that everything is taken care of and really watch quite closely, because it's a big event. It's a huge event, actually.
Why, though? I understand that the Secret Service need to be part of this. You know, I mean, there's black vehicles driving all around the area right now. It's crazy to see how much they're doing already for security. And they're going to be closing a lot of access roads down for ranchers. And I understand why they're doing it and everything, but they're doing it for like an extended, like 2 weeks. Right? I mean, it's not just one day. They're doing it for a long time. But why wouldn't they come to the local ranchers that reach out hundreds of yards and can snipe something down and know the pastures better than anybody, and say, where would you like to see the Secret Service sit and be able to have access to everything around? I guarantee the ranchers would know exactly where to, and even include us. Like, would you like a rifle and help us? Absolutely.
I thought about that same exact thing. How cool would it be to be able to sit up on top and be security for something like that, and with your rifle and help them out? Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't they? I think it would be a great idea, and maybe they have for some of them. I don't know, but I know that they're possibly using some of the Cowboy Hall of Fame as a base for them upstairs and such. So there's a lot of things going on out there. It's going to be a big event.
It is, and it's just the local people are just like dreading it.
Yeah,
there's way more people than it's just a lot of people. Marty Beer dignitaries. That word makes me want to puke. He says. So.
One of the things too is that the general public is not going to get in to see the Theodore Roosevelt Library.
No.
Unless they're a member of the library foundation and they get on a schedule.
Yeah,
and then in the schedule, you've got to be able to go. When you go into it, you have a time you're going into it, and you have so much time at each station to get through it because it takes a long time, and it'll be months before the general public get into that.
Yep. And expensive too. There's no doubt about it. And it's and there's some other things going on around that area that's kind of interesting that a lot of folks don't know about it. And not only the parking and taking away pastures from the ranchers and everything else, there's some and we'll talk about that. We'll come back here and we'll discuss that. Plus, it's shed hunting season, Wayne, and we're going to be discussing that and give us the ideas on that. So more coming up your way here. Dakota Prairie Outdoors continues here on a beautiful Saturday morning. Wind's going to be picking up here on the western side, but it is a beautiful morning. We're going to continue here. If you have questions, comments, give us a call, text us. 701-425-6651 is my cell number. If you want to call in, 888-9-DAKOTA. We'll be back right after these messages.
Pfeiffer's Auctioneers will offer nearly 12,000 acres of cropland, pasture land, and hunting land at auction this March across the upper Midwest, including land in Ward, Ramsey, Grant, Logan, Wells, Clay, Adams, Towner, and Sheridan counties. Don't miss Pfeiffer's premier spring event, 6,923 acres of premier ranch land across Fallon County, Montana, and Bowman County, North Dakota, selling March 11th. For full inventory details and online bidding on dozens of land and equipment auctions throughout the region, log on to Pfeifers.com.
DK Red Angus Top Coming to Town production sale is Saturday, March 7, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, Sydney Livestock Auction, Sydney, Montana. Selling 60 purebred Red Angus bulls, 10 Angus sire bulls, 20 Simmental composite bulls, 50 registered purebred Red Angus heifers, and 3 groups of bred and open commercial heifers. You can bid online and watch for videos at DV Auction. Performance, calving ease, and good dispositions with the DK Red Angus Top Coming to Town sale. Saturday, March 7, 1 p.m. Mountain Time at Sydney Livestock Auction. Bowman Livestock Marketing, serving the tri-state area for all of your livestock marketing needs. Eastern Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota. You can be sure of great care for your cattle and top price at sale time. Call Austin Snook at 307-290-2161. That's 307-290-2161 for more information or just to talk cattle markets. You can also find them on Facebook and go to their website, bowmanlivestockmarketing.com. The 26th Annual LBS Angus Production Sale, March 11th, 2 p.m. Central Time, Sydney Livestock Auction, offering 70 yearling bulls, 12 age advantage coming 2-year-olds, and 80 fancy replacement heifers. Sires include Styles Ambassador, Styles Jumbo, and BSF Resilient, along with others. Over 90% repeat buyers for the past 11 years, with bulls developed for the cattle producer on high roughage for their health and longevity. Contact Ryan or Butch Sorensen for more information or go to DV Auction. LBS Annual Production Sale, March 11th, 2 p.m. Central, Sydney Livestock.
I'm Dale Paulke with Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your trusted partner in ag lending. With our deep understanding and appreciation for the Western way of life, we proudly accept, respect, and promote the values that define our community. Whether you're a farmer, rancher, or business owner, we are here to support your financial needs and help you thrive. Choose Dakota Community Bank and Trust for all your banking needs.
At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
equal housing lender.
If you're in the market for a Red Angus bull with performance, efficiency, and longevity, be sure to check out the 2026 private treaty offering from Dry Creek Ranch. Sons of Berenson Bollinger Propulsion, HXC Allegiance, Red U2 Nova, and more are up for grabs. We are committed to providing the highest quality genetics to help maximize your herd's productivity and long-term success. Stop in at the ranch to view the bulls and join us for our open house on March 7th, 2026 at 2 p.m. near Amadon. Check out our program at drycreekranchnD.com or view the private treaty offering on DV Auction.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Motrest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. Western Frontier Insurance, agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or talking animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered with price in mind. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, Wilton, Bowman, and Hettinger. DK Red Angus Top Coming to Town production sale is Saturday, March 7, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, Sydney Livestock Auction, Sydney, Montana. Selling 60 purebred Red Angus bulls, 10 Angus sire bulls, 20 Simmental composite bulls, 50 registered purebred Red Angus heifers, and 3 groups of bred and open commercial heifers. You can bid online and watch for videos at DV Auction. Performance, calving ease, and good dispositions with the DK Red Angus Top Coming to Town sale. Saturday, March 7, 1 p.m. Mountain Time at Sydney Livestock Auction.
That road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Dakota Prairie Outdoor Saturday edition. Good to have you along this morning and enjoying it's just nice to have the sun up when we get the show going. Are you ready to spring ahead, Wayne? That is tonight, I think, right? Midnight tonight, spring ahead.
Yep. Ready to do it. Get some sunshine later in the day is going to be nice.
Man, we're going to gain like 100 minutes of daylight here in the month of March. And I'm excited for it. I really am. All right.
Yeah.
Blast from the past. I'm going to give a shout out to Brian. He's kind of like he gave me a call here from KOLY and KGFX in South Dakota, and he says we got some. He says, Scott. He said, didn't I work with you in Brookings, South Dakota years ago? And I said, yes, you did. And now he's helping with some of the radio operations manager type stuff in the Dakota radio group. So blast from the past. So big shout out to him. All right. So what I said, we're going to be talking about shed hunting. And you and during the break, you and I were discussing watching trail cameras and how the deer, whether it's whitetail, mule deer, or elk or anything else, are taking, if they're not pressured, they are taking the same routes almost every single day. They really are in the same thing if you don't pressure them out of there. And you said the same thing. You're seeing that on game camera. And what do you do when you go start shed hunting? I mean, elk aren't going to drop here. Heck, we still have deer. We still have mule deer that haven't dropped yet. And I mean, we're going into March already. When they start dropping, is there a way you can go shed hunting without pressuring these animals out of their areas?
You know, if you get out there earlier, I always like to get out and start, you can get on a high point actually and glass. We glass for them, especially in the whitetail areas. You can glass the fields and such. And, in the trees, you got to get in there and do some footwork. But when the elk start shedding, if they're in their feeding areas now in North Dakota, it seems like they're a little bit heavier areas, thicker stuff where they're shedding. But in some of these areas, like in Colorado and Wyoming, where they have these pastures where they feed them, my God, there's antlers laying all over in there sometimes. But
Yeah.
of course, you can't get in there and just take them in a lot of areas. North Dakota, you can. You can go at any time. I like to warn people, don't go too early and don't stress them. If you're pushing a lot of deer around, you may want to back off a little bit. But this year's pretty easy. It's been pretty good on them. And not only for shed hunting, hopefully it'll be good, but actually for deer this fall, with the snowfalls we had in the past and these deer that are now 5.5 years old and have made it through these seasons and these easy seasons, they should be coming out of this year pretty well and have really nice looking headgear this fall. So
Why is it taking them so long to drop their antlers this year?
I think it's because they're in better shape. We had seen one, had a whitetail that we saw had dropped his antlers like early January. And then the whitetails had in January, they had pretty much gotten a lot of theirs off. I was getting trail cam pictures of mule deer and elk, of course, still that have their antlers on. But I think they're just in good shape. I think it's been an easy winter. Yeah, we had a little cold spell, but, it's been good.
Yeah. So Josh just texted in. He says, I saw a muley the other day that still had his antlers. Most of the mule deer that I've seen around this countryside where I'm at still have their headgear. One had one. So I know they're looking at dropping, but does it change from area to area on when they shed or how they shed? I mean, like the northern part of North Dakota has had a lot more winter than we had down here in the banana belt, I call it. And South Dakota side, I mean, the eastern side of South Dakota's had a little bit more stressful winter. I mean, the Black Hills, I mean, they're so short on moisture down there and snowfall. It's crazy down that way. So does that make a big difference, or is it maybe different terrain or rougher terrain or flatter terrain?
It has a lot to do with the condition of the deer. And if the does are still in estrus later in the year through January, the bucks have got testosterone. They're not going to drop their antlers as early. But we can probably refer it pretty close to the Bergman's rule that anything further away from the equator is bigger in size. So maybe that with that concept, anything further north with the colder weather will drop their antlers sooner. I haven't looked into it, but maybe that's a good theory on that.
Yeah. So where does a person, if you're a first-time shed hunter, because this is a sport for some people, where would you tell them to go looking for, whether it's whitetail or muley or even elk antlers? Where would you tell them to start shed hunting, and what places to specifically go after?
I would first look at feeding areas. You could start looking at south-facing hillsides where the snow comes off first, around hay yards and the bedding yards. The bedding areas is where you'd like to concentrate the most, because they say that deer spend like 80% of their time in those bedding areas. So finding these bedding areas, start branching out along trails, field edges. You can look at fence lines. You've recognized that from fixing fence where deer go and they'll jump.
If you want to pick up antlers, offer to fix fence for somebody, because you're going to find antlers.
Yeah. And often, like I said, where they jump on a fence, or maybe it's a creek or it's deadfall or something. But mid to late February, they can start. You could have started last month, but by now, most of the whitetails are off. By the end of March, I would say most of the mule deer will be off, and end of April is where the elk will be all done. But elk is fun when you get out there and you can find the shed. And when I find the shed, the studies have shown that the younger deer, they'll drop their other shed within 60 yards. The bigger bucks are maybe a little further than that. So start circling out. But I always follow the trail that they're on first, and then get back into the timber. And I found elk antlers doing that, ducking under branches and getting back in there. And pretty soon you find the other one. But deer's kind of the same way. Make some circles and get wider and wider, and you can find the match set. And I think that's the most fun, is finding a match set.
Yeah.
And then use your shed hunting for scouting as well, because if you recognize the antlers from a buck that maybe you'd seen the year before, you can ask yourself, hey, this is bigger than what I expected, or how good were you at field judging, and why was this deer here? And you can use a lot of things like that to make yourself a little more successful the following year.
Well, and also what's exciting is if you do find a match set, he's still alive. Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that's the
exactly.
exciting part is he's still here. So I have a chance at him this fall.
Yeah.
Or you hope.
And you still have your horses out there. So,
Yeah.
I mean, get on the horseback and do that. When Levi and I, Kate, went out to your place and rode that big canyon back there, we found like 15, 20 sheds that day.
Nobody gets back there. You were the first people.
Yeah. And it's like, it was the south facing slopes. It was these little hilltops areas. And then we gave the sheds to you, and then we rode down that damn canyon or whatever. And had a heck of a time finding a way out. So,
It's some rough country, man, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. No, I like going back there and hiking back as well. If you want to go bow hunting, and that's where I usually went. I took Jesse back there years and years ago, and we saw so many great deer, but it is so hard to get around because everything is straight down or straight up, but there's a lot of animals that like the deep, thick stuff back there.
Yeah, and and it's hard sometimes. Pulling a stock in an animal where there's so much cover too, and the timber and all this stuff. And you don't know where you're going to find them, and you can't always see all the animals that are deer that are bedded around them. I mean, that's the worst. That happens more often than anything getting blown from a stock is from another animal.
Yeah.
So it's good country though.
It is
beautiful country down there.
Beautiful country, it's our own little secret. That's why I really don't want the presidents and all these people coming out to Medora, because I'm like, just leave us, let us have our own thing, man. Let us have our own stuff here. But Wayne, we're up against our half-hour break. We'll come back. We'll talk a little bit more, and we got all kinds of issues. We got some text messages to get through and all that. If you want to text in, if you have questions, comments, 701-425-6651 is my cell number. We're live chatting on my YouTube channel as well, Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. Feel free to call or text in at 888-9-DAKOTA if you want to come on the live show. We'll be back right after these messages.
Pfeiffer's Auctioneers will offer nearly 12,000 acres of cropland, pasture land, and hunting land at auction this March across the upper Midwest, including land in Ward, Ramsey, Grant, Logan, Wells, Clay, Adams, Towner, and Sheridan counties. Don't miss Pfeiffer's premier spring event, 6,923 acres of premier ranch land across Fallon County, Montana, and Bowman County, North Dakota, selling March 11th. For full inventory details and online bidding on dozens of land and equipment auctions throughout the region, log on to Pfeifers.com.
DK Red Angus Top Coming to Town production sale is Saturday, March 7, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, Sydney Livestock Auction, Sydney, Montana. Selling 60 purebred Red Angus bulls, 10 Angus sired bulls, 20 Simmental composite bulls, 50 registered purebred Red Angus heifers, and 3 groups of bred and open commercial heifers. You can bid online and watch for videos at DV Auction. Performance, calving ease, and good dispositions with the DK Red Angus Top Coming to Town sale. Saturday, March 7, 1 p.m. Mountain Time at Sydney Livestock Auction. Bowman Livestock Marketing, serving the tri-state area for all of your livestock marketing needs. Eastern Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota. You can be sure of great care for your cattle and top price at sale time. Call Austin Snook at 307-290-2161. That's 307-290-2161 for more information or just to talk cattle markets. You can also find them on Facebook and go to their website, bowmanlivestockmarketing.com. The 26th Annual LBS Angus Production Sale, March 11th, 2 p.m. Central Time, Sydney Livestock Auction. Offering 70 yearling bulls, 12 age advantage coming 2-year-olds, and 80 fancy replacement heifers. Sires include Styles Ambassador, Styles Jumbo, and BSF Resilient, along with others. Over 90% repeat buyers for the past 11 years, with bulls developed for the cattle producer on high roughage for their health and longevity. Contact Ryan or Butch Sorensen for more information or go to DV Auction. LBS Annual Production Sale, March 11th, 2 p.m. Central, Sydney Livestock.
I'm Dale Paulke with Dakota Community Bank and Trust, your trusted partner in ag lending. With our deep understanding and appreciation for the Western way of life, we proudly accept, respect, and promote the values that define our community. Whether you're a farmer, rancher, or business owner, we are here to support your financial needs and help you thrive. Choose Dakota Community Bank and Trust for all your banking needs.
At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
Equal housing lender.
If you're in the market for a Red Angus bull with performance, efficiency, and longevity, be sure to check out the 2026 private treaty offering from Dry Creek Ranch. Sons of Berenson Bollinger Propulsion, HXC Allegiance, Red U2 Nova, and more are up for grabs. We are committed to providing the highest quality genetics to help maximize your herd's productivity and long-term success. Stop in at the ranch to view the bulls and join us for our open house on March 7th, 2026 at 2 p.m. near Amadon. Check out our program at drycreekranchnD.com or view the private treaty offering on DV Auction.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Mo Rest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. Western Frontier Insurance, agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or talking animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered with price in mind. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, Wilton, Bowman, and Hettinger. DK Red Angus Top Coming to Town production sale is Saturday, March 7, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, Sydney Livestock Auction, Sydney, Montana. Selling 60 purebred Red Angus bulls, 10 Angus sire bulls, 20 Simmental composite bulls, 50 registered purebred Red Angus heifers, and 3 groups of bred and open commercial heifers. You can bid online and watch for videos at DV Auction. Performance, calving ease, and good dispositions with the DK Red Angus Top Coming to Town sale. Saturday, March 7, 1 p.m. Mountain Time at Sydney Livestock Auction.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. Dakota Prairie Outdoors continues on a beautiful Saturday morning across the Dakota Territory, and I hope you enjoy your day as much as I am here. I'll be hitting the road here to Sydney, Montana. I have a bull sale up there, and then back to the DSU Cowboys and Candlelight live auction tonight in Dickinson. So if you're in those areas, please join me either in Sydney or in Dickinson, or if you're like Wayne and just skip out on both of them because you don't want to come out this far. Right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Say, before we get going too far, I got to throw something out here.
Sure.
Benny Paulson, you just had on for your music.
Yep.
His Breaking 8 band, he's got a new music video out with a good friend of yours and mine, Steve Winiger, is in there.
Really?
And from right across the river from you, it's a song called The Wrangler, and it's from his, I guess he has got a new music release out. I think it's called 8 Seconds Strong or something
Okay.
like that, I believe. So I think it's on iTunes and
We'll have to check
Spotify,
that.
possibly. I'm not sure. Yeah,
So-
but he's got a new music video out there. Little old Steve.
So-
Steve is the epitome of a cowboy.
Well, here's the thing.
tell ya.
Steve is in a lot of videos now because the last
Yeah.
summer when I stopped at his saloon up there,
Yes. Yep.
he's in another video with another country artist.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name, but
It
he's
was,
the guy is like famous in all these videos, and you know what he has to do?
Yeah.
Just act himself. That's it.
Yeah. He's got the big bushy mustache and the cowboy walk and the cowboy look. It's perfect.
So
Yeah.
his cowboy walk, what that means is he needs knee replacements, is what it is.
that's exactly right. You know, when I was working and I had both knees replaced, and one of the gals said after I came back, she goes, "Oh, you walk straight." She says, "I miss your cowboy walk."
The cowboy walk doesn't necessarily mean it's healthy.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, good stuff. Well, you know, as we get moving into this, so I went online here. If you're a North Dakota resident, the big three, the bighorn sheep, moose, and elk applications are online as we speak, and please get them in. You know, the big three that it's once in a lifetime in the North Dakota side and South Dakota residents. I didn't realize this. You informed me about this. The bighorn sheep, non-residents can apply for this.
Yes, and actually a non-resident has been drawn many years ago. It's very difficult, and I believe
There's
you
like
have to
6
pay
tags or something like. I mean, it's very difficult.
Well, I think there was 10 last year, but
Really?
they had they I think they have to pay like $100 application fee, but that's drop in the bucket to get a chance at that. So,
well, let me ask you this. Okay, so in the bighorn sheep thing, one tag every year goes down to the big auction. What is that called down in Arizona or someplace?
The Wild Sheep Foundation, I think it is. Yeah.
They auction one of them off, and I think it goes for like between $100,000 to $300,000. I mean, it's a lot of money. And that money's supposed to come back and be put back into the bighorn sheep habitat and what have you. And I don't know where you find the information of where that money goes. I have no idea.
Yeah.
What do you? Is that something you think that's the good thing to do? Is auction off a tag, big money like that, and or is it just bringing in a big fancy rich guy? You know, I don't know which way to look at that.
Well, I think our Game and Fish Department uses that money, I believe, and this is my understanding, to bring in some other sheep and to manage that herd. And they did that. They brought the sheep species over from the breaks in Montana, which are more acclimated to this type of country. They don't get that lungworm as easy and such. So it's really helped, make us more sturdy herd, and I hope that's what they're doing every year for it. However, I think the Game and Fish Department in the past, now I don't know if this is more recent, but that auction winner is kind of set on getting the biggest one, and they
of course they are, yeah.
In the past they've pushed the locals that have gotten drawn out of an area or tried to. So and I know that I'm not sure anything recently, but I know a friend of mine who had a tag in the past. He ran into these situations and he wasn't happy. But anyway, but there's some good sheep out there. There's some big sheep, and
what do they taste like? What do they taste like?
I don't know. It's a big ram, so I can't imagine it tastes too good.
Yeah,
but
I think so.
I mean, it can't. Our dead meat show for Ranch America, or for the Ranch America producers, he's doing one on muskrats coming up this week, so it couldn't taste any worse than a muskrat, probably.
Good grief! I don't know why. Why? Right? I mean, you look at this as like there's so much good meat in the world, and then they're going after muskrats. Seriously,
it's the show. It's the
I know it's
ugly
part of it, but
you're not eating a lot of it. When we ate our prairie dogs, we had just a little hind quarter and ate that.
So bad. Oh, so what's going on with Ranch America here? Are you the main producer now, or?
No, I turned that job down. They wanted me to take it, but I did not want to commit myself to that. But yeah, we've got some things going on again this year, and trying to still working on a few things in Montana, and they want to come back here, and I have things set up too. But last week on their show, the Dead Meat Show, and I compare the two because we kind of go back and forth with that. But they did the seal hunting in up in Alaska, and they just floated and wait till the seals popped their heads up and they could shoot the seals. Wow. And then they ate the seals, and they took the intestines and they stripped the intestines out like the Inuits up there, and they braided them and they cooked them or something, and they ate small pieces of it. I'm not sure what it tastes like, but very interesting. But they ate the seals too.
You're telling me that there's a TV show out there that they're actually going out and hunting seals, and the environmentalists aren't going, over all those. I mean,
yeah.
Wow.
Well, our producer Scott Laseth has not said that they've been knocking down his door yet, so I think he's still pretty good. So,
the thing about it, and people have to realize, all of this is necessary. All right, whether you take the animal and utilize it, or nature takes it itself and it's utilized somewhere. I mean, hunting is part of what we do. Yeah. And it's so many people are getting so far removed from the hunting aspect, and they're getting urbanized away from it, and they don't realize where their food comes from.
Right.
And they don't know where their clothing comes from.
Mhm.
and it's too bad. So
That's true. And on the last show, I think it was last show, we talked about Washington State proposed
yeah,
a opening of seal season on the Columbia River there. I mean, no action has been taken on that yet, but you got to think, if you don't manage these critters, just like anything else, you're gonna have overpopulation and issues with them. So,
so
but if you manage them right, you could have a lot of them too, like we
absolutely,
talked
yeah.
about out east.
So I was
Yeah.
talking to a buddy of mine back in the NTCA when he was on a board of director for out in Washington State. He was always telling me about these stories about there's too many seals. There's too many. He said there's getting to be so
Mhm.
many that the level of trout are going downhill so fast in some of these rivers and tributaries that they're closing up seasons that you can't even go after salmon or trout anymore because there's no numbers. And lo and behold, now they're looking at coming up with a season to actually
Yeah.
go hunting some of these seals, because if you have too many of one thing, it's going to take away from something else.
Right.
Right. And yeah.
But then you get these activists or these
Oh yeah.
groups that, for example, down in Colorado, they have these out of state activist groups that is trying to bypass the voters to put a ban on commercial fur buying.
Yeah.
So and that's the problem. You get these out of state, activists. I have a better word for it, but they don't know what's going on, and they try to bring their thought process on the whole, outdoor community, which isn't right either. So, but yeah, it's a good thing in some areas, there's bad things in others. You got to be able to manage them, like you said.
Yeah. So I was in Rapid City, and there was a new store that I've never seen. I'm actually texting my wife right now because she wanted to go into that store. And it was one of the only stores I've ever been into here in the upper Midwest anyway, that had fur everywhere. And it was real fur. It wasn't the faux fur and the fake stuff.
Mhm.
And I asked the lady, I'm like, so it was a store I never heard of before. And so I'm texting her and I'm trying to remember the name of it. But Overland. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Overland. Have you ever heard of this store?
No, I have not.
Okay. First time I ever seen it too. It's right in downtown Rapid City. And I went in and I'm like, it is so refreshing to see everything had fur on it of some sort. And it was real, whether it was coyote fur, that's the big one. Everybody likes the
Yeah.
coyote fur on everything, and they're like,
Mhm.
yeah, they're like, we have some of these, I think like 20 some stores throughout the nation. And so look those up here. At this point in my life, I don't know anything bad about the store. So please go and support them and buy fur, because that's pretty cool. All right. A couple of
Right.
text messages we got to get through. Are you ready? All
Yeah.
right. All right. So we started the show talking about different music.
Yeah.
One guy said here, the Texas Hippie Coalition is real music. Agree. Good stuff. Dave from Minnesota says he's listening. He says, got to text you this. He said, bringing back memories of Johnny Holmes. One of the best songs. I don't need no diamond ring. I don't need no Cadillac car. All I need is my Lone Star beer down at the Lightning Bar. He says, so I bringing back memories on that. Another text says, I saw my first mule deer shed fall off a deer yesterday. He was beside the road, took off, and yeah, I mean, they're just starting to drop the mule deer really late this year.
And that's a great way to find sheds.
Yeah.
let them drop them right in your lap.
Another text comes in, says, finally drew a North Dakota moose tag last year after 45 years of applying. Shot my bull with a bow on day 2. Wayne scored it for me, and though it fell short of Pope and Young, I'm tickled to death with it. Just wish I could do it again. So there you go. So one of the big 3 down, 2 to go, he says.
Yeah, they're so much fun to hunt, and they're great eating. My goodness, they're good eating. So yeah, and it's hard. I've been applying for 45 years. I did a paper on big game in North Dakota when I was in college, and people told me that, we don't have moose and elk in North Dakota. I said, we got seasons on them, and now I still haven't been able to. My family's had some luck, but not me getting these tags. So
another text comes in, says, activists, call them what they really are. And I'm not going to go on all that. Yeah. The most worthless form of human beings on the face of the earth are what they are here. So
Oh,
Yeah.
good comment.
And then another text says, not sure if you're interested in sharing this on your show. But if you do, that'd be great. Let's see here. It's a picture. It is the Southwest Art Gallery and Science Center Moose Tag Raffle in Dickinson, North Dakota. The Southwest Art Gallery and Science Center of Dickinson. The drawing is going to be held on June 10. It's $100 per ticket. Only 1,000 tickets going to be sold out here. First place is the moose hunting tag. Second place, painting of a moose. And third place, Damascus knife, all the way down to 10 places. Let's see here if I can find the information. If anybody wants to buy a ticket,
Yeah.
get a hold of the Dickinson Clay Target Club folks out that
Yeah.
way here. So, yeah.
Well, when you look at those odds, they're pretty good. You've got a 10% odds there. So,
Yeah.
you're going to have a less than 1% for moose and elk in North Dakota. So just make that, put that in your notes and say, which is going to be better, buying a raffle ticket and supporting a group, or
I support these groups anyway, right? I mean, I have no problem
yeah.
with that. I'll drop. And if you are in DSU tonight, I don't know, okay, who sent this here, but if you come to Dickinson State University this evening, and I will buy tickets from you to get in on this here myself. So, and that's the hard thing. Like, this show covers a lot of places, and not everybody's going to be in the same place. But yeah, anyway, contact the Southwest Art Gallery and Science Center in Dickinson if you want to get in on the moose tag raffle. And so my question to this is, can non-residents buy this tag? And if they win, can they use it?
No, not for moose or not for elk.
But if it's going through a separate organization, why can't they?
I do not believe that a non-resident can have an elk or moose tag in North Dakota.
Right, but if it's through a, because the legislature gives away so many tags to do this with.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Good question. Yeah. That's
all right. The Carrie
I don't
Roller.
know. That's something
she says, hold on. She says, yes, non-residents can buy a ticket and win and use it. Yeah.
They can.
So
they can.
Yeah.
Well,
so
good to know.
I'm going to, Carrie, I hope it's okay to give your number out. Actually, before I do, text me, is it okay to give your number out? If people want to get in on this raffle, because why wouldn't they? Even non-residents, she said yes. Okay, 701-590-0999. So 590-0999 is the number if you want to get in on this raffle. Residents, non-resident, doesn't matter. Anywhere in the nation, in the world, if you're listening to this on my YouTube channel, if you want a ticket or try to get in here, it's $100 a ticket. Only 1,000 tickets. 701-590-0999 is the number to call. So get in on that. All right. Now, another text. During the Olympics on TV, they're showing people downtown are being interviewed and everybody was wearing fur. Absolutely, because every country in the nation wears fur except for in the United States that has these organizations that just make it feel like it's a bad thing. Why? I mean, we have a great nation, but it went so far as to give these people a voice that makes it look like it's a bad thing wearing fur. I don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah. And, and like we said, if the hunters want something on the landscape, it's going to stay on the landscape because they're going to want to hunt it.
Yeah.
And that's another avenue to keep the populations like they are. So
another text comes in, says, hey, the Midwest chapter of the Wild Sheep Foundation auction of the Bighorn Tag, their banquet is going to be held in Minnetonka, Minnesota. So there you go. You got a chance to win a tag over there too. And maybe that's the thing. Instead of putting into the regular drawing, maybe that's what I should do is just go buy raffle tickets everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, you're playing the odds there. You got a lot better odds than putting in for the lottery in North Dakota.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
No doubt.
Unless you want a cow tag, you can buy these cow tags.
That's true.
You get about a 50-50 chance of getting one drawn. And we talked earlier off the air about the moose and elk tags, and there's less elk tags this year and less moose tags. So, you've got, what is it? About 119 elk less and 40 some moose less than last year. And it's kind of puzzling to me because we're seeing more elk all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we've heard the moose have been devastating in that area. And maybe they've taken, they shot a lot more these last couple of years, and now they're getting back to a normal type of season. So I don't know, but interesting anyway.
Normal. What's normal anymore, Wayne? Here, another text comes in, says our niece and her husband have a boat on the Columbia, and the seals have been taking over and jumping on the boats and docks, and they're looking they're looking for salmon. He said they've been taken over on that. So that's crazy. Too much of something is not always a good thing, right?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, Wayne, where can people find the TV show Ranch America?
It is on the Outdoor Network. It is, if you have Midco, the Outdoor Network is there. You can get it on My Outdoors TV by subscribing there. Ranch America. We will have the Bonsack Ranch this fall on there. It'll come up this September. Bonsack Ranch is out in eastern North Dakota. A lot of people don't know about this, but Benita Lasky is a daughter of the Bonsacks out there, and she took over the ranch many years ago, and she built it up, and she's now is retired, of course, but she has a rodeo out there every year, and a lot of interesting events for that type of rodeo.
Good.
And it's in the Cheyenne National Grassland area.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize how much beautiful country is down south of the Jamestown. That's really nice country down there. Yeah. Great hunting country, and that's national grasslands. You can put in for tags down there too. And I'd encourage that as well. So,
somebody asked, does Ranch America have a YouTube channel?
They don't. That's something that because it's owned by the Outdoor Network, that's where it differs. See, we are hired to put the show on from the Outdoor Network, and they keep on, and they renewed it for season 6, and we'll be working on season 5 and 6 this year. So,
well, Wayne, we're up against the end. The hour goes by quick, my friend. Thank you for coming on the program. Stay with me. We'll do a little bit after hours on the YouTube channel. Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, Wayne Muth here. If you have any questions, comments, you can find him all over. He's got just Google him, and you'll find information all over. Have yourself a great weekend, everybody. Eat some meat, drink some milk, wear fur, wear wool, and support your farmers and ranchers, the original conservationists out there. All right, thanks, stations. Appreciate you. Hopefully everybody's off here. Wayne Carey, the gal that sent the $100 tickets here. She says, I'm already getting phone calls. So there you go.
Really? Yeah. Good deal.
So Carey, if you're listening, come to DSU tonight. I'll buy a couple tickets from you. Increase my odds. I'll buy 2 tickets and increase my odds, Wayne.
There you
go moose hunting.
Yeah. And I think it's for any unit up there. I think it's for the whole.
How do you feel? How do you feel about the legislator giving away some of those tags to different groups? What do you think?
I don't know. I always had mixed feelings about it. Yeah. I mean, if it's a deer tag, it's one thing, like the Mule Deer Foundation get, but it's elk and a moose tag. And the thing about it, Scott, these nonprofit organizations, some of them have already been involved with, let's say, charitable gambling, and they get so much money from charitable gambling. It's unbelievable. And those that really need something, maybe the Veterans Honor Flight or something like that would be more appropriate. But
here's my thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have no problem with an organization getting a tag, raffling it off, making money off of it. I have no problem with that. I just think that if I get drawn for a tag, I should be able to raffle that off as well and use that money, and I'll turn in receipts, but I'll use that money to fix fences, put water systems in, spray for weeds. That's it. I'm not going to use it to go to a trip to Vegas or anything, but I will, whatever I make off of that tag, I will put back into the property and land, and turn in receipts to Game and Fish or whoever it may be. But I wish that would be one of my options, because if they're allowed to do it, why can't I? That I have to sit and put money back into the property. I'm not looking at taking the money and running. I just want to put it back into the property that they're spreading a lot of weeds. They're breaking a lot of fence down. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, and there again, it's like, do you allow then every rancher that has, whether it be a mule deer tag or a
Why not?
elk tag to
Why
be
not?
able to do that? And I don't think I would have a problem with it.
What,
You know?
Yeah, what's the big deal? Because that tag can only be used if it's a deer tag and it's a gratis tag, you can only hunt on the property that's listed for that tag. That's it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
if it's deer, it's only going to be on that area where the landowner had it. Now, some people might not pay for that tag. Elk, I can see because you can go kind of unit wide on that whole thing. I get it. But why not?
Mhm.
Why not let us put that? But we have to turn in receipts to show that we're putting the money back into weeds, water, and fencing.
Right. Yeah.
So Carrie,
that'd be interesting. Yeah.
Carrie says, I'll send Blaine Ducard over there for you. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. Let him have him find me after the live auction. So that way I know. Leather, guns, knives, wear all of the above every day, including wool. Good. Well, Wayne, I have to get dressed up here and head up to Sydney, Montana for a sale. So I'm going to let you go.
All right. Yeah. One question. Have you
Sure.
heard anything more about that feedlot that found those 470 some cows dead or cattle dead?
I
hear about that?
I have not heard anything more on that. Did you know? I'm going to say this because I know the Game and Fish knows. How many deer a day are found dead on jumping off of the roof of the Presidential Library in Medora?
Oh, really? I had heard that there's some that have jumped off over there on that side.
Mm-hmm.
On that south
Every
side,
day they find something.
Do they really?
Nobody knows about
Well,
it.
they got to put up some sort of a fence or something there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do something.
All right.
Interesting. Anyway, that's for
Well,
sure.
I think they put up something and then they jump over that and it's even a further drop then. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
All right.
So, hey, let's do this again.
All right. We'll catch you later, man. Have a good day.
You bet.
Yeah.
Thanks. You bet. Bye-bye.
All right, YouTube. Have yourself a good day. We'll, if you're not in Sydney today, we'll see you at DSU, hopefully.